Lewis Hall, Lewis Skelly. The Manchester United transfer race is hotting up with everyone's called Lewis. Believe it or not, my name's Lewis and this is the United Daily 7, your place for all your Manchester United news and gossip. And today we are looking at the holy trinity of Manchester United transfer alumni. Mark Goldbridge, Beth Tucker. We've got Alex Jacobs here. I am Lewis, Lewis Hall, Lewis Skelly. It's crazy. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. Let's get into this with Beth Tucker. What you got for us?
Back then, because I feel like that's the next target that Manchester United are going to try and secure. Lewis Hall is the name on everyone's lips. Is the truth?
My name's Lewis, and by the way, I have to stop this video every so often because I promise you, Mark Goldbridge writes a letter to YouTube and YouTube come around your house and take away your YouTube. It's true story.
Proof to the fact that he's asked Newcastle to potentially explore that move to Manchester United. Does he want to move?
Now, Beth Tucker, just in case with me talking over this, is talking about Lewis Hall asking for a transfer request. Is this true? Ben Jacobs will know.
Manchester United.
He's not putting a transfer request or anything like that. Again, there's two separate points here. Being annoyed with how the season ended, if you like, even if that's perhaps not the best choice of words, but frustrated versus being done with the project or requesting to leave. And I don't expect Lewis Hall to formally communicate anything to Newcastle unless Manchester United make an offer. If they give Newcastle something to consider, then Hall is open to Manchester United. But
there we go. So we're looking at probably no traction. Does this guy really know, though? Is he really the main man? Should we be listening to Ornstein? No, this guy's okay. Is he real? It looks a bit like AI sometimes, doesn't he?
it's both of those extremes. I've said this for weeks now, and I think some reports now replicate these two extremes of if Man United try, and we know he's a dream target, then Hall would be interested in that move. And yet if he stays, and that's Newcastle's intent, don't be surprised if he signs a new contract with no real middle ground between those two positions. And that's because Newcastle want to lock him down. Newcastle want to give him improved terms. And what I understand has happened in the last 3 or 4 days is Matthias Jasler has had a direct meeting with Lewis Hall to discuss his future, and has told Lewis Hall the club don't intend to engage with any offers, and has told Lewis Hall that they want to offer him improved terms. And Ross Wilson, when he came in, the highly regarded sporting director at Newcastle United, has said for months that they would like to give Hall a new contract if possible. So that will likely more develop.
Wait a minute. I don't know why, like Ben Jacobs, I think this is Ben Jacobs. I can't remember. They all sound the same to me. I know that's Beth Tucker because she is probably very good on the United stand. Now, I just want to say, like, when Manchester United phone up Lewis Hall and they say, do you want to come to Manchester United? Lewis Hall says yes straight away. He says yes straight away because everyone wants to come to Manchester United and Lewis Hall doesn't really want to go to Newcastle. So this chap here, what's he saying? Let's just go through what he's saying again. Hang on. He's pretending. He's saying that Lewis Hall probably might stay at Newcastle and Newcastle might.
So that will likely more develop after the window because usually.
That's terrible. You say that's so this guy's a journalist, and let me tell you about journalism recently. Have you noticed that accuracy in news reports is going down and emotion being sort of being what is sort of said in newspapers? It's more like emotion-based journalism. Is this what's happening here?
You don't negotiate in these final days, but it's really ball back in Man United's court because they've asked already Newcastle and they've been told not for sale. Hall's aware of the interest. If Newcastle change their mind, Hall is very open.
Yeah, Hall is very open because he doesn't want to stay at Newcastle United. Let's not forget, Manchester United are the biggest club in the world. And that's because we're the biggest club in England. And England is the world in regards to football because Premier League football is the pinnacle. That's a true story. Man United,
Manchester United, but the ball is back in Man United's court. They would have to bid. They would
Ironically, he's using a tennis term about football. I don't know.
To bid a massive number, and they would have to hope that then they got that player encouragement, and also that Newcastle United.
Yeah, I think the way this is going down is that Lewis Hall will have to put in a transfer request. Lewis Hall, listen, mate, listen. Look at this, the away kit here. I'm in the blue. This is the white. There'll be a blue one later. Lewis Hall, come on, mate. Don't worry about it. Just put a transfer request in. Just put a transfer request in to Newcastle and Man United will buy you because we have unlimited money and also in need of a left back. Lewis Hall, never mind. And I'm guessing you're worried that all the Newcastle fans, they're going to go, oh, Lewis Hall, you've done us dirty. You've gone to... No, he's not. Manchester United, Newcastle are a waste of time, aren't they? They're a complete waste of time. There's no point. But if you could go to Manchester United, go to Man United. That's what I say. I mean, it's not that I'm a Man U fan or anything, but come on, we all understand. Listen, and this guy here on the telly, what's he saying? Oh, let's go back in the white, actually. That's a bit nicer, actually. And I've probably got the... Well, okay. Lewis Hall, get it done.
It's not for sale stance changes, so it's not an easy deal to get over the line.
Yeah, Lewis Hall's just got to say to them, he's got to bite the bullet and just say, look, lads, he go, a deal like Jimmy Neal, he go, listen, lads, I need to get down to Manchester. I can't do a Newcastle accent.
But it's absolutely no secret that Lewis Hall is the number one target if they could do it in these final days of the window. And that's something, obviously, that I've said for weeks, if not months, on this show.
So essentially, if Manchester United tried to bid for Lewis Hall, he'd welcome it and would want to move to Manchester United if Newcastle were
Beautiful. This is why I say Beth Tucker, she is great because she knows what's going on. Lewis Hall, get up tomorrow, phone your agent, say, I'm in. I don't care. Whatever money it takes, I promise you, it will be the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, my info has always been, if Man United agreed to deal with Newcastle, Lewis Hall is open to that move. But is Lewis Hall agitating for that move? Not at the moment. Could Lewis Hall sign a new deal? Absolutely. It's those two extremes. And I feel like when I first said this, it actually was all the way back in maybe like March. And in March, it was kind of, everyone thought Hall would sign and it would actually be done before the summer. And that was the intent of Ross Wilson and the Newcastle hierarchy.
Who's Ross
Wilson?
Wilson?
Of course, April, May didn't go according to plan. Newcastle didn't get Europe. Hall was not playing every week. He didn't make the England squad. So it changed and the window opened and there was less confidence that this new Hall deal was going to happen. But it was reasonably advanced, according to my info, in terms of the verbal conversations with the player in March, after the winter market, through to that kind of home stretch. And the intent was to kind of silence any possibility of speculation before the summer market opened. It didn't go according to plan.
Oh, it's boring me now. This is all boring me. Lewis Hall, we know this chap, he's just making up a whole load of rubbish. Now, Hall price, Hall transfer, Lewis Skelly deal. Let's have a look at the Lewis Skelly deal. What have you got for this Lewis Skelly deal? Hang on a minute. Let's just move this on. Right.
That he was exploring his options under Ruben Amorim, but then subsequently it became relatively common knowledge. And sometimes as a journalist, you have to circle back to what you know. And I can categorically tell you, Man United sources and Chelsea sources tell an identical story with no overlap in sourcing and no reason why those two clubs would have the same tale of how it came about, who made the offer. And
so this guy, Mr. Alex Jacobs, he's not AI. I've been told it's true. Beth Tucker, I don't know. They're talking about Lewis Skelly, and it sounds like this could get smelly with Lewis Skelly because Manchester United and Chelsea definitely are both in for Lewis Skelly. But I can't see Man United paying 65 billion because let's face it, Lewis Skelly is really good, actually. Defensively, not that great, but going forward is. He's very much like Trent Alexander-Oxlade-Chamberlain, or whatever his name is. I don't know which one that is now. But Lewis Skelly, he ain't coming to United. He's not coming to United in any facet because I'm pretty sure that £65 million price tag, the fact that he doesn't want to leave, and there's a good chance he's going to get a lot of football this season, even in midfield. So Lewis Skelly, we understand the situation. Oh, striker update. Come on. I hope this talks about the possibility of, who've got the possibility of getting Ivan Toney? Anyone?
I could look to strengthen before the window closes. I mean, we spoke on the last show and you said regardless of Joshua Zirkzee situation, United could still sign a striker. Not that they will, but they could still sign a striker. I mean, is there any concrete names you can give us as of now?
Yeah, I mean, a bit more on Mantanovic because that's kind of got relatively widespread reporting now. And again, was something we discussed exclusively on this show last week. He is somewhat in the Zirkzee profile. He's 6'5". He had an excellent season for Freiburg last
6'5".
campaign, and Tottenham have looked at him as well. I sense, as I reported earlier today, that
When does 6'5" become a good footballer though? He's like, oh, he's 6'5", like that's a good thing. Oh, he's 6'5". What else? Does he play football? I hope so.
Spurs will push forwards with that double deal for Omar Marmoush and Savinho, and then still try and go for Cody Gakpo. So there's one option.
Oh my God, what are Tottenham doing? Tottenham are going to get Marmoush and Savinho and Gakpo. Oh my God, this is like, what is this, 2022 or something? What's going on? Marmoush is flipping dead, mate. Dead food. Marmoush, Savinho, dead food. And I bet there's some Tottenham fans watching. I hope they are. Let me see what time we're into. 10 minutes in. I know some Tottenham fans. Mate, that striker setup is terrible. You could buy Joshua Zirkzee, though, if you wanted. I like Joshua Zirkzee, by the way.
Freiburg obviously prefer to keep. He scored 11 goals in the Bundesliga last
Freiburg?
campaign, I believe.
Isn't he out of
15 in all
Futurama?
competitions, and he's somebody that would be open to move to the Premier League. But then you have the slightly older kind of player, and I feel like sources I spoke to at the beginning of the window were leaning me more towards Etta Ayong, not in great form. No one's come in for him yet. Juan Angolo, Barcelona considered the front runners if a transfer ends up happening there. So that was like, let's start the window and let's see if there's a name for the future. And then let's give Chido Obi the opportunity as well.
Yeah,
coupled with the
get
fact
Chido
that Benjamin
Obi.
Šeško gets fit. And naturally, some assessment was always going to take place over Josh
There's a
Zirkzee.
lot going. By the way, there's a lot to get through on this. I don't think we could even start on this. Now, they're talking about strikers. No. Rashford and Zirkzee exit. You know what? Let's have a quick look at this because I put flipping Marcus Rashford in my fantasy football team in the draft. I missed out on a lot of good players, guys. I promise you. I had to put Rashford in there. That's
Any
what
chance of him still leaving Manchester United? And a few links with Arsenal. Anything in that? And also Joshua Zirkzee. Still think he'll leave Manchester United, or do you think he's set to stay?
Yeah, with Marcus Rashford, the
I love a bit of Big
situation
Jay-Z, though.
is same. If the right offer comes in and Rashford wants to go, then Man United are prepared to entertain it. And that's no real surprise because there's always been a price over Rashford up until the 40 million clause expired for everyone except Man City and Liverpool. And then it was 30 million euros for Barcelona. I know we've heard some reports in Spain that Barca are going to try at the death and do another season-long loan with
Any chance of him still leaving Manchester United? And a few links with Arsenal. Anything in that? And also Joshua Zirkzee. Still think he'll leave Manchester United, or do you think he's set to stay?
It was 30 million euros for Barcelona. I know we've heard some reports in Spain that Barca are going to try at the death and do another season-long loan with another option to buy. And you can never say never. Within the Premier League...
I could do it. Watch this. Never say never. Rashford, Zirkzee. Look, this is all very interesting, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that the Rashford thing could still... Rashford could be going, couldn't he? And my fantasy football team has been a nightmare. But I think he'll play well, and I think he's going to score this weekend. So I think I could be quids in on that. Let me know who you've got in your fantasy football team. Now, we have spoken a lot of things today. Let's just finish off with a little bit of Beth Tucker. There she is. She got... Let's have a look.
Those close to Rashford have always...
No, it's over. This has been interesting, hasn't it? This has been very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until I tell you what, I think this is it. I think we've done enough today of the Manchester United transfer news. I hope you've enjoyed. Why not smash a like and subscribe to the channel? I've got to go. Until next time, later.